Welcome back, everybody, to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Justice for All. Today we're continuing the investigation in Case 4.
It's past 9 p.m. already, isn't it? I wonder if Mr. Edgeworth has already found Mystic Maya.
These things take time. I'd say probably not. The police are professionals, Pearls. They'll find her, so don't you worry. And if we can win a not guilty verdict tomorrow, then everything will be okay.
You're right.
Let's talk. So the real person who killed Mr. Corrido was...
An assassin, Mr. Shelley the Killer, right?
And the card Miss Andrews found at the crime scene seems to be proof of that. But if that's the case, then a new question comes to mind. Who was the one that hired the killer to begin with? Who is his client?
You mean, who asked for the murder?
That person didn't want to dirty their own hands in blood, but whoever this client is, they're still a killer.
Who could have hired the assassin? Do you think it was Miss Andrews?
I wonder. But if she was the client, then why go through the effort to stab the knife into the corpse herself?
But if Miss Andrews wasn't the client, then no, it can't be.
Matt on guard himself.
If Mr. Ongar really did hire the assassin,
Then he is not innocent at all. Far from it, he would be guilty of the crime.
but it can't be Mr. Ongar, right? I mean, when we first talked with him...
Mr. On-Guard, I'd like to ask you one more question. Did you kill Mr. Juan Corrida? Alright, just so we're clear, dude. I didn't kill anyone, and that includes Juan Corrida, okay? I didn't see any Cyclops at that time. Actually, that reminds me.
Did you remember something, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, something Miss Andrews said at the trial today. She said something interesting.
So what is this interesting thing?
Oh, that's right. You didn't hear it, did you, Pearls? Juan had bet everything on the Jammin' Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought, anyway. It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
Mr. Ongar's secret? What is this secret?
I don't know yet. But for now, let's think about it this way. Mr. Corrida was going to reveal this secret. That means Mr. On-Guard had plenty of motive to have Mr. Corrida silenced. Which means we have to meet with Mr. On-Guard. There's no way around it now. Hey. This keeps getting more and more muddled.
Wow, it's really getting late, isn't it, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, it's past 9 p.m. already. But we still have some things to prepare for tomorrow's trial. There's still the matter of the secret Mr. Corrida held about Mr. On-Guard, and Miss Andrews' real intentions. These are two things I must know tonight.
But aren't visiting hours over at the detention center?
I'm sure we'll think of something, Pearls. Don't you worry. We're gonna have to think of something quick, so we're running out of time. Hey, wait! What is it, whippersnapper? All I know is nothing that has anything to do with you is ever good! Like just now, I was handed this strange device for who knows what reason. And I was told to use it to search the whole hotel! That's the bug sweeper, isn't it? The one Gumshoe made. I don't know, and frankly I don't care, but the request came from Edgypoo, so... Edgeworth? And he said... If you feel angry, direct your anger at that unsophisticated lawyer. So I'm gonna feel free to direct all my anger towards you! Gee, thanks a bundle, Edgeworth. What a pal you are. This is absolutely top secret, so you had better keep it to yourselves. I heard they found a spy camera hidden in one of the presents. Very interesting. I'm sure it was, you know, It was to catch poor Juan in the middle of a scandalous meeting!
Scandalous? What's that?
It means, well, you know, that gossip that's been going around about my dear Juan.
Oh, you mean that thing about Miss Andrews. But I'm sure she must have had some reason for getting close to Mr. Corda.
I'll let you in on another secret, young'un. I know who planted that spy camera. It was that obnoxious, puffy-haired photographer girl. The nerve of some people! Spying on people by herself, as if I wouldn't want to see it for myself, too!
Wow, the alien actually admitted her true intentions for a change.
I don't know what you're thinking exactly, but I can bet it's nothing good!
But I didn't say anything.
So you want to know about Juan and that manager, right? Actually, as I hear it, they were something of a refreshing pair, those two.
Oh?
I tell you, Juan really welcomed that manager with open arms, I heard.
That manager? What are you talking about?
You don't know? That manager woman Juan had. It's a shame she killed herself, though.
Oh, you're talking about Miss Celeste Impax, Miss Andrews' mentor, right?
Yes, that's the one. That Celeste girl. She was supposed to get married, you know?
Married? You mean to Mr. Corda?
Really, you young kids today don't know anything, do ya? That girl Celeste killed herself 3 days after their marriage announcement.
3 days after their marriage announcement? What in the...
Why would Miss Impact want to kill herself? She's gonna get married!
Well, that's because...
Because she was thrown away, you see, by Juan.
What?
But they were going to get married, right? They promised each other, right?
They held a grand announcement session, but 3 days later, Juan suddenly canceled their marriage.
Is that true?
It was in the weekly magazines.
But why? Why did he do that?
That was not in the magazines, unfortunately.
I see.
That night after Juan called off the wedding, that manager, Celeste, killed herself.
How terrible.
I wonder what happened between those two.
We're gonna find out eventually, right? On that night, there must have been at least a few hundred people here. I guess the police are done with their questioning and investigating. It looks like things here in the lobby have finally calmed down. To the Criminal Affairs Department.
It feels sort of tense in here, doesn't it, Mr. Nick?
Yeah, it does. I wonder if something happened.
You're Mr. Onguard's lawyer, right?
Ah, yes, sir.
Well, we finally found just the person we've been looking for. A real decisive witness.
A decisive witness? You mean for Mr. Onguard's case?
We're taking the witness's statement right now. Gotta hand it to Mr. Edgeworth.
What's Edgeworth up to now?
Who is this witness?
I think you know this person quite well, Mr. Lawyer.
Mr. Nick?
Between the kidnapper's demand and now this, I can't see any way to win here.
Oh, yeah! Mr. Edgeworth wanted me to tell you something.
He did?
Even though visiting hours are long over at the detention center, he wanted me to grant you special permission. So, there you go.
Huh?
I've already called them, so they know. Go on, go talk to your heart's content.
Thank you very much.
This is such good news, Mr. Nick.
Go talk to your heart's content. It sounds like the police are pretty sure they have tomorrow's trial in the bag. And they might. I'm sure they must have transferred Miss Andrews here by now. So that means that both Mr. Onguard and Miss Andrews are in this detention center. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? Let's go with Matt Onguard first.
Dude, it's Mr. Wright! I hope you can get me off the hook tomorrow. I'm counting on you.
I hope so too. Edgeworth just dropped a bombshell on me and said that Juan Corda was killed by an assassin, and that assassin's client is this man, Matt Onguard. What's wrong? Mr. Onguard, there is something I must know with 100% certainty.
You seem kinda different. You're totally not like your usual lawyer dude self.
About the press conference.
You mean the one where Juan was gonna dress up as the Nickel Samurai?
Yeah, I heard a little more about it from Miss Andrews.
It looked like somehow Juan had in his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
Could you please fill me in on what this secret is? Please. Oh boy. Oh Jesus Christ. Oh my god, that's a lot of locks. I knew this was coming.
Mr. Nick, don't tell me.
A psych lock.
You said a secret, right? But you don't have any idea what it is, do you, dude?
Did you know about Mr. Cord and Miss Andrews' relationship?
Well, it's all over the tabloids, dude. But I don't know any of the details, if that's what you mean. Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I don't care what Juan did with his life.
Miss Andrews, she had a purpose in mind when she started seeing Mr. Corda. Her mentor was Mr. Corda's manager, and Miss Andrews was going to get Miss Celeste Impax's suicide note from him.
Celeste?
Does that jog any memories?
Dude, I suddenly just got totally hungry. You up for pizza? My treat.
Mr. Nick, what's a pizza? Is it like kind of pea? Like green peas?
Let's go eat one later, okay?
I got cut off by the pizza dude at the shop.
That's too bad.
Well, how about we get our minds off this topic and talk about something else, okay?
Mr. Onguard, are you connected to Miss Impax's suicide in some way? Alright, let's head back to the Criminal Affairs Department.
Oh, Mr. Wright, please, you have to help me!
Uh-oh. Mr. Powers!
What happened? Why are you here?
You see, I got roped into this somehow.
What?
And now I'm going to testify at tomorrow's trial.
So the decisive witness is Mr. Powers?
I was talking with a detective until a little while ago, and I was on my way home, when all of a sudden, you there! You're under arrest! And I was brought back here.
Oh.
They said my face and whole self in general looked suspicious or something.
Well, I guess I could see how they thought you looked suspicious.
I'm just a normal guy on an exercise show for kids. Is that a crime?
So, about this testimony you're giving, what are you going to talk about?
I really don't know yet. But it sounds like I saw something pretty important from what they tell me.
You saw something important? What was it?
Well, the detective told me not to talk about it. You can't tell anyone, and especially not that lawyer, he said.
Who do you think that lawyer the detective was talking about?
I'm going to take a wild guess and say it's me.
Yeah, you got it.
Mr. Nick, Missing Maya and myself are your only two allies in this whole world, but it's alright.
Ouch, I don't really have a lot of friends, do I?
This is going to do a lot of damage to Matt, you know. Because he's got that refreshing like a spring breeze image going.
But what is he really like?
Well, let's see. Matt's always been kind of a player with women. He would never really turn a pretty face away, if you know what I mean. He'd always say, it's just a game to justify himself.
What? How horrible! That's unforgivable!
Oh, ow! Sorry, didn't mean to offend you. But, you know, he said once that there's only one person in the world who won't swoon over me.
One person who wouldn't swoon over him?
His manager, you know, Miss Adrian Andrews.
Why is Mr. Powers suddenly looking kind of energetic?
You see, I'm actually a sucker for gossip. I mean, celebrities and their world have this dazzling sort of image, right?
A dazzling sort of image, but aren't you part of that dazzle, Mr. Powers?
No, I'm more of a hairy, sweaty, smelly, brutish kind of guy, you see. But it's okay, really. I get to hear plenty of gossip about a lot of the other stars around me as things happen.
Well, that's true.
Oh, hey, so did you hear about this yet? About Miss Andrews' mentor and her suicide?
You mean Miss Inpax?
We heard something about how our wedding was canceled.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I thought about it a little the other day, about that mysterious death. Hey, Mr. Wright, why don't you ask me about that? Go on, go ahead.
Mr. Powers is so charged up, his skin is practically glowing with electricity.
Hey, so have you heard this? Celeste left a suicide note. And they say that Juan went and hid it.
We heard about that in court today. But there wasn't any actual proof that she had left a note.
Well, this is what I think. I think that something bad was written on that note. Something bad for Juan, that is.
Something bad for Mr. Corda?
Why do you figure so?
Well, before she died, Celeste talked with a few of her friends. And she said, it looks like I may have been caught by an insidious man.
An insidious man? Did she mean Mr. Corda by that?
Well, there's no one else that fits the bill, right? And that would be reason enough for him to hide the suicide note.
I see. Well, that's some good info, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Ongard and Miss Andrews, they're both at the detention center right now. There are still things I don't understand or know about, I'm sure. I have to get the two of them to tell me everything. So let's head back to the detention center. Now then, whose story do I want to hear? We heard from Matt, let's hear from Adrian. Oh, it's you. I'm sorry to be visiting at such a late hour, but there are a few questions I absolutely have to ask you tonight. Me? I thought your client was Matt. I'm sure Miss Andrews knows something. She can't be clueless about this secret Mr. Corda had on Mr. Ongard. I'd like to ask you about Matt Ongard, if you don't mind. Mr. Wright, you still don't know, do you? The real him, I mean. You seem to bear a lot of resentment towards Mr. Ongard. If that's the case, then why did you become his manager? And why would you become intimate with his rival? That has nothing to do with this case, nothing. About Miss Celeste Inpax. I had finally put her death behind me, and now, thanks to you, it's all come back to the surface. I'm sorry. Yes, I was shocked by her suicide. And it's true that when I heard the rumor that Juan was the one who had hidden her suicide note, I began to draw close to him. I wanted to get her suicide note back and burn it. You wanted to burn it? But why? I didn't want it to spread like just another piece of gossip. But I never held any murderous intent towards Juan. I would never do something so stupid. The suicide note, huh? I wonder what it said. Why did you try to frame Mr. Ongard? That's simple, because he's the killer, that's why. Isn't it the duty of every good citizen to inform the police?
But there had to be another way.
The police are excellent at doing their job, so they'd figure it out, right? Yes, they're so good that they couldn't figure out the real truth behind Celeste's death.
Miss Andrews.
Well, I know you're not the type of person to do something without reason, so please tell me why you did what you did. Revenge.
Huh? Did you say something just now?
Oh, just one, huh? Kind of a disappointment. A psychlock, huh? Don't you understand yet? You're not my lawyer. To be honest, you're more like my enemy.
But
I'm sure I just heard Miss Andrews say, revenge. We'll have to get to the bottom of that later. Let's head back to base.
Mr. Nick, your phone!
I don't like the sound of this ringtone right now. It sounds kind of ominous.
It's probably just your imagination. You should really pick it up, Mr. Nick. It could be important.
Hello?
We got a big problem, pal!
What's wrong? I'm on my way to your office right now! Okay. Hey, wait a sec. Why is he coming here?
It's terrible! I don't know what to say, pal. It's the end. I say I'm gonna...
Oh. I got here faster than I thought. Hey.
No time to relax now, pal. I'm as confused as anything here.
Well, what happened?
We got him! We know who bought that spy camera!
Eh?
This quickly?
And this bear's what gave him away, pal!
The bear?
I figured it out, pal! I figured that we should have been looking into the bear instead of the camera!
Wasn't that Mr. Edgeworth that figured—
Shh, Pearls. And? Go on.
There's only one person who bought one of those bears who's related to this crime!
Who is it? Who would be so rude as to spy on another person in their room?
Man on guard!
Huh?
Man on guard, your client, that's who, pal!
And here I thought things couldn't get any worse. Are you sure you heard right? That the person who bought this bear was...
I heard it from the department store clerk, pal. This is the credit card receipt for the purchase. It's for $3,800, pal. That's an exact match to the price of that stuffed bear.
A receipt? That's all you have?
Nah, it's just not just a receipt, pal. The store clerk said so himself. He told me I'm sure I sold the bear to Mr. Ongard. I mean, the clerk even got Mr. Ongard's autograph out of it, pal. So I'm sure the person that bought the stuffed bear was Mr. Ongard himself.
My sight is failing me. This can't be. So what about the spy camera we found?
That was a dead end, pal. I mean, you can get this kind of thing from anywhere. But for now, I guess I could give these back to you for you to file away the evidence.
Alright.
I know you don't want to give up, pal.
I didn't think it was possible. The person who put the spy camera in Juan Corda's room was Matt Ongard.
Why would Mr. Ongard do something like this?
I bet it was to catch Miss Andrews and Mr. Corda on one of their rendezvous.
I bet is not good enough for me. I have to know the absolute truth behind this camera.
Are you going to see him? Mr. Ongard, I mean.
Yes.
I'm scared, Mr. Nick. I wonder what we will find out next.
I'm scared myself, but I have to put on a good face for Pearls. Matt Ongard, what in the world have you done? We're gonna figure this. We're gonna get to the freaking bottom of this.
You're working really late, you know. It's already past 10 p.m., dude.
I think it's time you told me the truth.
Relax, don't you know that ignorance is bliss? But if you really want to know, let's talk.
Let's figure this shit out. Now we got 5 locks to break, so this could take a while. Now, let's hear what this secret of yours is. What if Mr. Corda had been successful in his plan? What would he have disclosed?
I told you before, dude, I don't know. I don't know anything about Juan, okay? Look, Mr. Wright, I can keep on saying it until I'm blue in the face, but I totally didn't pay Juan any attention the whole time that night. I mean, come on. I was in the middle of a nap.
Don't lie to me.
Huh?
I know you paid close attention to Mr. Corda, especially on that night. Because I have this here. Take that! Someone used this camera to secretly film Mr. Corda's room the night of the murder.
Secretly film? What?
And then sent the images the camera took with this transmitter.
Wow, but dude, where was this camera you're talking about hidden?
It's hidden here. Take that! The spy camera was hidden in this bear's eye. A bear that was supposed to be a present from a fan!
I guess Juan had a few of those kinds of fans too, huh, dude?
Actually, I wouldn't say this bear was a present from the fan.
You sure, dude? Who else could it be from?
The person who gave this bear to Mr. Corda was... It was you, my friend.
Take that!
Mr. On Guard, don't you know this bear from somewhere?
I don't think I've ever met Mr. Bear before, dude.
Aw, but he says he knows you. How could you forget such a great friend?
What else did the bear tell you?
He says that the one who put the camera in his eye was you, Mr. On Guard.
If I didn't know how you work in court, I'd think I was in some serious trouble. Come on, this is all a joke, right, dude? You're just pulling my leg.
Looks like you're not ready to give up your secret yet.
Well, do you have any proof that you want to show me first?
Here is proof that it was you who put the camera inside the bear. Back to the evidence.
Take that!
I have here one credit card receipt, Mr. On Guard. It's from when you bought that stuffed bear.
Dude, all you can tell from that is that I spent $3,800. I go to that department store all the time, okay? This $3,800, this could be the toothbrush I bought that one time.
A $3,800 toothbrush?!
It's ivory, and it's got elephant hair for bristles.
Ugh, elephant hair. Is that what rich people use nowadays? Anyway, the store clerk clearly remembers you and your purchase. After all, you even gave him an autograph, did you not?
Dude, you should have said that earlier. So can I ask you one thing?
Yes?
You're my lawyer, right, dude? So, if you are, then why are you looking into stuff like that?
Because if I don't know the truth, I can't help you.
Sounds more like stupid lawyer talk to me. Hey, let's stop talking about this, okay?
No, not yet. I haven't asked why you set the camera up yet. And what your secret is. Of course, it would be strictly confidential.
So, what are you gonna do now?
I'm going to find out what I want to know, because I must. The reason you hid this camera in Mr. Corda's room and filmed in secret is... where is that fucking thing? Here it is.
Take that! Adrian Andrews?
There is a rumor going around that Miss Andrews and Mr. Corda were having secret meetings. You, who was keeping tabs on Mr. Corda, you were going to reveal this as fact and turn it into a scandal. Isn't that right?
Dude, you can be such a moron.
Huh?
Oh man, Mr. Lawyer, dude, that kind of scandal? That's the good stuff. That's what we in the industry call juicy.
The good stuff? Juicy?
Look, we can get publicity without spending a penny with that kind of stuff. I mean, if people stop paying attention to us, then it'd be the end, dude.
Too bad. That wasn't your intention.
What are you talking about?
I wish your reason for spying was something so innocent. But it wasn't. You didn't spy on Mr. Corda because of Miss Andrews. Then there's only one reason I can think of for you to do such a thing. The real reason you set up that camera in Mr. Corda's room was... It was for something else, and I have proof of it.
Take that! What is this card?
Maybe he doesn't know about this card. This is a certain man's calling card. The man's name is Shelly DeKiller, and I'm sure you know of him, don't you?
Shelly DeKiller? That's ridiculous.
Why would I know some shady scumbag like him? If you really don't know him, then why are you acting so jumpy all of a sudden? This is it. I'm finally starting to get to the truth. I can't afford to make any more mistakes now. Mr. Matt On Guard. I know why you know Mr. DeKiller. It's because you're his client. Since you're the one who set up that camera, that means you knew. You knew exactly what was going to happen in that room. So, how? How would you know something like that? It's because you're his client. That's why. You hired Shelley to kill her to assassinate Mr. Juan Corrida. The real mastermind behind this whole murder is you, Matt on guard.
And here I was, trying to be a good boy for you, dude. I thought if you didn't know, you'd be able to do your job without feeling bad. Well, that's what I thought anyway.
Mr. On Guard, you really did hire?
Hold on a sec, I'm gonna consult myself, okay?
Consult myself?
Well, I guess it's probably about time anyway.
About time for what?
I think it's time for you to meet him now, Mr. Lawyer Dude.
What the fuck?
How do you do, Mr. Lawyer? I'm Matt On Guard.